Yo, face. Show your face, please. With sugar on top.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Y'all know my slogan. I don't know it all, but I know what I've been through. Now, before we get into this video, make sure you check us out on Patreon at www.patreon.com/Hookah Anonymous _. You guys been telling us to create one for the longest, so we recently created a community where we will upload videos that we can't share on YouTube due to their guidelines. We'll also be dropping the latest THF first behind the scenes information that you wouldn't find anywhere else on our socials. So make sure you become a member, and after you do that, head over to our official Instagram page at Hookah Anonymous _ and follow us there. Now without further ado, let's get into what you guys came here to see. Now, y'all know they say hell has no fury like a woman scorned. And I don't know why these guys tend to play with these females like this, but they're treading on thin ice, right? And one thing I'm gonna tell you, especially if you're in Chicago, you have a woman that you're with, or whatever it is you're doing, whether it's the baby mother, whether it's your quote-unquote wife, girlfriend, whatever it is. At the end of the day, if you really out there in the street, you better make sure that woman is somebody that you plan on spending the rest of your life with. And if not, stop giving up so much valuable information. One thing I don't know about these guys is they love the pillow talk, right? And I come from an era where if you did something in the street, your family not supposed to know, your girlfriend, your kids, nobody's supposed to know unless you're doing dirt with whoever it is you're doing something with. That's it. But aside from that, nobody is supposed to know. These days you have these young guys, they get on social media, they want to let you know everything they did, whether they trying to prove they're gangster, whether they trying to show you that they really like that, promote a song, whatever it is. They put it in their music, they put it on live, and they put it in a post. Another thing I never understood was these guys who claim to be in the street, they had females around. Back in the day when you was growing up, one thing they say is off limits is females and children. But it seemed like these days the opposite is now going on, because now you have females and children in the street. So at the end of the day, what you have when you have something like that, you have females and children now being attacked and now being targets because they are now in the streets as well. Now I said all that to speak on a recent situation that is pretty serious, whether people see it as that or not, but it's pretty serious and it happens more than we actually think. And I think a lot of times women get their emotions wrapped up in the situation and do things that they later on regret, but in the moment they really don't care. But sometimes you could do something that there's no coming back from, whether you believe it or not. But I shouldn't even say that, because these days you got guys that'll still take these females back, and I think a lot of times that's why they do what they do in the first place. And if you ask me, we could also hold the guys accountable as well, because why do these females know all this information in the first place? Now, I don't know what happened between him and his baby mother, but it looked like they got into a situation where she got in his phone, she's posting from his Instagram account and his stories, and it's kind of crazy because he has more followers. So opposed to just doing it from her page, she's doing it from his page, which is a little more crazier. It got more guys or more ops watching, whatever the case may be. But she dropped his location, dropped the mother's location, and she also hinted that he may have had something to do with a body being dropped, which was 051 mil. Now how she got his phone, I don't know. He must have been slipping, but guess what? At the end of the day, he put something out there that was even more crazier on his IG story. If something happens to her, just know he's going to be the first suspect that the police come to, man. We're going to get into all that, but before we do, make sure you hit that thumbs up button so we can get this video into the algorithm. And if you not subscribed to the platform already, make sure you do so now. Let's get into it. There was a couple posts that was posted to his IG stories, but it wasn't Little Law. It was his baby mother, and you could tell she was posting from a very, very hurt point of view. But We know that they always go through it. However, this time things may have got a little out of hand because she posted his location on top of tagging Chicago PD. Now in the first IG story, she would say, quote, "What happened to Mill?" Then in the next story, she would say, quote, "9804 South Aberdeen. That's where he living at. Sheesh." The next story, she would say, quote, "You running your mama house when you low. You talk about her, Hookah, and Angel, and Risha." Now we don't know how true this is because of course, you know with women, sometimes when they feeling, whether it's bitter, emotional, hurt, they can say anything to try to get under your skin. But at the end of the day, if he is talking about his own mother, this is crazy. Now in the next slide, she would say, quote, "At Chicago Police FC, come get this B word." Now you know she gotta be a different type of hurt if she's sitting there really tagging Chicago Police. That's crazy. Now in the next slide, she would say, quote, "Polo don't even F with you, but you out here with his 1300 on. How that look?" In the next slide, she would say, quote, "Don't nobody F with you." In the next slide, she would say, quote, "Sit back and downplay every MF rapping. You stop hating and get your name straight, MFs may come and grab you." Now it was more, but I guess Lil done got control of his page at this point, and he deleted all the stories that she posted. But as y'all know, like Cardi say, once it's up, it's stuck. We living in an age where no matter how much you try to delete stuff, how fast you think you try to delete it, at some point in time, someone is either screen recorded or screenshot. So of course at this point, people have already got it, but he will make a post of his own after he gained control of his IG account once again. And what he said was kind of crazy. He would say, quote, "All snakes must die." Now, we don't got to get too much into that. We really don't know what happened and what transpired between the two, but we do know that a lot of times this happens a lot between the both of them. I think it's a little more serious this time around because she's exposing a lot, including his location. And not just his location, but people are saying that it was his mother's location. So it's one thing to drop my location, but if you're going to put my family in harm's way, then obviously you don't care. But I wouldn't say she don't care. At the end of the day, women think with emotion first. Whatever he did to get her mad, whether it was cheating, whether it was maybe a DV dispute, I'm not saying he was, allegedly, but what I am saying is he did something to make her mad to where she got to the point to where she didn't even care. She dropped his location, and that's one of the final things you can do to anybody that's involved in the streets. Because you're not only putting his life in harm's way, but you putting his family's life in harm's way. And it's kind of crazy because women will do all this, and next thing you know, they will have some type of sympathy or cry at your funeral if something was to happen to you. If y'all remember, Mimo 600 just went through this recently as well, when him and Glow would go back and forth, and she dropped his location on social media too. So I don't know what's gonna have to transpire before these guys realize stop playing with these women, stop pillow talking. But at the end of the day, you can't really pillow talk with a location. She just gotta be, sturdy enough, but if she's not, then it's over. But anyway, y'all jump in the comments, let me know what y'all think about all this. How do y'all feel about her dropping his location? How do you feel about what he said? Which was kind of crazy because once again, no matter what happens, if something happens to her, he's gonna look like the #1 suspect. And if he was gonna do anything, why put it on social media? Crazy. Y'all jump in the comments, let me know what y'all think about this. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell so you're notified every time we drop new content. And remember, as long as you keep on watching, I'ma keep on dropping. I'm out.